This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
Okay, so Beato had Matteo Mancuso and Matteo Sasato on for an interview. It's quite a cool interview. Actually, they've got some really interesting kind of insights around certain stuff. Around kind of being on YouTube, being, you know, from little villages and finding that they were able to build an audience with the online stuff, which is kind of resonates with me a little bit, given that I come from somewhere tiny as well. Obviously, I've not had anywhere the success of
Matteo Sasato or Matteo Mancuso, but you know, we can put that down to the fact that I can't play like them and also can't record properly. But there was this one lick in there which well, I've got another video planned on this because I just need to learn the licks properly, because there's a couple of other really cool little bits and pieces from there, from both of them actually. But I thought, let's take a look at this kind of lick that Matteo kind of said would be impossible to play with a pick, and let's see if he's right.
There are certain lines that you literally
maybe
you cannot play it with a pick.
It was this one, I think.
Oh, there's no way
that you cannot. No, it's unpickable, and you really can't really hybrid pick it.
No, there's
And you get the A with the pinky.
Yeah, you see, like
it's made for finger style.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Matteo Sasato couldn't do it, but with this sort of thing, I think you really have to sit down for a long time and practice it before you know whether it's possible or not. Matteo's playing amazing. Obviously, a lot of us are probably so far down the road with a pick that we have to kind of try and see whether things work for us. And I think these kind of things that are really hard to pick make really good things to make an exercise out of. So it's not about saying that Matteo Mancuso is wrong or anything like that, but it's kind of like, let's see how far we can push this thing. So the tabs will go up on Patreon as well as the backing track, but the lick goes something like this. It's kind of really similar to the quartal lick, which was actually the thing that jumped out at me from this first. The one that went... It's very cold today. And that was another one that he said would be kind of difficult with a pick, and it definitely is. I've seen Andy Wood and some other folks kind of hybrid picking it, but I think you can get some things going with alternate picking, and even if you can't get into the blistering speeds of Matteo, I think it's good practice in and of itself. So that's something that's going to be in my regular kind of rotation of stuff to practice. But he kind of showed in this interview an even more concise version of the thing. So we're going to start, we're kind of in A minor, right? And the lick is going to start up here on the E, and this is also going to be a kind of quartal thing, so I'm going to show you some cool ideas that we can do with it eventually. So, starting on the 12th fret, down to the 7th. Yeah, so 12th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret, down to the 9th fret on the G string. That's our first group of 4 notes. So we're going to alternate pick all of this, or that's how we're going to try to do this, or I am at the moment. As I say, Matteo Mancuso obviously got his own kind of way of playing amazing things, but what we can do is try and incorporate these things into our own style, and that's definitely what Matteo Mancuso has done. I know he's kind of broken down Frank Gambale, Charlie Parker, Alan Holdsworth, all of this stuff. You know, he doesn't necessarily play technique-wise like them, but line-wise, take that and try and incorporate it into your own kind of playing. So we get 12, 7, 10, 9. Then that was obviously 4 notes. So down, up, 7, 10, 9, 9. So okay, that's going to be particularly tricky. So down, up, and if you're an anchoring kind of person, you're going to find that this probably is going to involve so much right hand movement that it's hard to kind of anchor. And then our last kind of part of the phrase, 10, 9, 9, 12. And then all the way back up. So down, up, 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 down, up. And I've got to work on this a lot. But so as you kind of speed up this sort of thing, for me, I think what happens is that my wrist starts to actually do a little bit less work. So when you practice it slow, you'll probably find that your wrist is doing a lot of work. But as I speed up, I think what happens is that this starts to kind of solidify in place a bit, and the wrist is kind of doing the up and down kind of pick slanting thing that Troy Grady talks about. That's not something I've ever kind of practiced. I just sort of noticed that it happens. And that is kind of necessary for me to get any sort of speed on it. But what also happens is the accuracy sort of does go down a little bit. So something to bear in mind there. Over the years, I practiced this, that kind of thing quite a lot. You know, like the, what's it called? Glass prison arpeggios. Yeah, that sort of thing has been part of, you know, Petrucci and all that sort of stuff. Been stuff that I've practiced quite a lot. You know, I don't think I'm particularly good at it, but these are some of the most tricky kind of alternate picking things that you can do and probably constitute really good practice. Now, what other things we can do with this, as I was doing in the intro, is actually just move it around. And I'm kind of moving it around sort of an A minor pentatonic framework, kind of. We've got another shape up here. If we go up to the 15th fret, and then we've got a C in the bottom. Then we can get this kind of F thing going on. So 8, 2, 3. And then a G. And then this one here kind of thought we could do this. Like that. But I think it's a really good thing that you could kind of check out and see if you can play it, see if you can incorporate it into your playing. You could probably sweep it. If you're good at sweeping, I'm not. So for me, I think alternate picking feels like I've got a bit more control. But someone like Frank and Barley, 100% would be sweeping this. Which is definitely worth a go, but for me, alternate picking. But I think it's definitely possible to play in other ways aside from just the super fingerstyle. I can't play like Matteo Mancuso anyway, so I don't think I'm ever going to get it as fast and clean, but it's more about the friends that we make along the way. So yeah, give that a try. And let me know how you get on with that particular tricky little thing. I think that's a really, really, really excellent kind of thing to put your alternate picking chops to the test. Goes nicely with that quartal line as well. Patreon be the place to get the tabs and the backing track, and I'll catch you in another video soon. Let me know how you get on with it. Cheers.